Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
Welcome into yet another Thursday night edition of your Chief Talk, bringing out the rest of the year, finishing up the year. 2024 has been good to us, and we're going to end it on a nice, smooth note. But before we get started, I'd like to say hello to Banker John, Fireborn, Jay Bates, Supremo Tobacco, Hunter Ox, Gary Zanstra, Bob Ellis, Charles Adamson, Michael Zakovic. He says, I can't stay long. I'm at a hospital in Missouri. My daughter is going in for a C-section. Gonna be a grandpa. Well, congratulations, Michael Zakovic. Enjoy the time that you have being a soon-to-be grandpa. All right. With that, we'll turn off Jay's funky slow jam music, come back over here to the stream, put the microphone back on myself. Actually, before we go into the stream, I do want to give out a big shout out and thank you to our show sponsors, Drew Estate Cigar and Quality Importers, making sure that we can bring you Chief Talk every single week when there's not an emergency or a holiday. Obviously, there's one more Thursday left in the month, but it's the day after Christmas, and I'm not going to be available. I know you guys may be available. I won't be available. We want you to be available to your family instead of being available to us, because I'm going to be available to my family instead of being available to y'all. So let's come back over here to the main screen and bring on tonight's co-host. Not muted. Now he's muted. Welcome into the show, Bob the Cigar Guy.
Hey, everybody. So, can I hijack the show?
You asked. All
right, so check this out. This year, we have had a lot of milestones on the Bob the Cigar Guy channel. And I don't know if you know this, but you're a major part of this. If it wasn't for y'all watching, we'd just be two guys sitting in the shed smoking cigars talking to a computer, which, you know, that's almost on the verge of a Unabomber. So I just got a thing sent to me, an email from YouTube that said some of our highlights for the year. 1,206 new subscribers, 115.5 thousand views, 195 videos we did this year, 6,800 plus likes, 913 comments, 549 shares. We have still to this day, for every minute since we started Bob the Cigar Guy channel, somebody has been watching. Not every minute, but if you add up all the minutes of everybody watching, we have more minutes watched than the amount that we've been doing that. And that's thanks to you, and that's awesome. We also had a video that went over 250,000 views this year. We had lots and lots of shorts. The PCA live stream was
currently
great.
in shorts.
Wow. That's so bad. And so we also came out with our swag, our first lighter cutter, thanks to Quality Importers. Our lighter cutter Travador, we got that going on. Started up a new podcast. We had some great barn smokers and great opportunities. And I got to tell you, the number one, I actually Googled it, the number one cigar lifestyle related live show on Thursday nights starting at 8:15 in Travelers Rest, South Carolina is Chief Talk. Number one. There is no number two even close.
Right.
There is no anything. And so I want to say to Chief, thank you very much for doing such a great job this year, putting out some great content and the ASMRs and all the other stuff. And it would not be what it is if it wasn't you doing what you do every day. So the channel wants to thank you. So before you light up your cigar, you might want to see what I have in this box.
Oh.
This came from our good friends. I got this from our good friends.
Don't say a website.
Abe DeBabna. Can I say that?
Yes.
Good, because I did.
I already cut a cigar.
Well, you can let it sit or not. So I usually the channel usually gives Chief a box of cigars for Christmas every year, just to say thank you. But this year, you actually got a personal note from Abe that says, "Hey, Chief, hope you enjoy these fine smokes. Wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. Keep it lit," with Abe's little stamp. On the bottom, it says, don't pay attention to this. It says, "I enclosed 2 special cigars for you and Pops to enjoy." They got lost in translation, so they're not there anymore. So there's your
Imagine that.
And the box of cigars that you really, really wanted was a box of the Wise Man Maduro.
Oh, that's not what I said.
You don't want them?
I'm not. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I mean,
whoa now. Hey.
You know, if you don't want these,
I mean, I would hate for them to, go to waste. So.
I'll take care of it if you need me to.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do to make 2024 amazing.
Holy camole.
Merry Christmas, Chief, from the channel and from everybody else. And thank you to everybody else for being here and watching and supporting Steven and Chief through Discord and all that other stuff, and just adding to the value of his life just by giving him purpose and being a culture that is just par excellence. And Abe also sent 2 of the Tatuaje NFT editions. So there is your NFT edition.
Awesome.
As well.
Thank you. Thank you, Abe. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Abe. Thank you, Bob the Cigar Guy YouTube channel. And thank you, Dad.
And the shipping from that company, which I won't mention, Abe's company, is lightning fast.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, it's insanely lightning fast. Now, I don't know if he bumped it up and just moved me up to the higher level of fastness.
I'm a part of the smoking social group, and people have always given props to Abe and his company for how fast they are able to ship things out. No, that's That's awesome. You and I had talked. I think it was down in Florida about hey, we're the channel's going to do the cigars this year, like we usually do, and that's one of the things we kind of budget for is as a reward for what we do. We bring in sponsorship money, and sponsorship money takes care of like our bills. Like we have
lots of bills.
We have. I didn't realize how many bills we have.
We have lots of bills
per month when it comes to the channel, and being able to provide you guys the content that we currently provide, we have to pay for the things we currently pay for. And so that's what sponsorship money is delegated to originally, and then like PCA, that all comes out of our sponsorship.
Lenses,
any hardware and things like right. We bought we had to buy a computer this year. We've bought you that computer over there a couple years ago. We've bought
5
cameras.
years ago.
We bought a camera a couple of years ago.
We bought me a couple of these lights this year. That was my big deal.
So it's a lot to take on, and we are thankful for. That's why I make sure we say thank you to our sponsors who run Chief Talk, and obviously we have other sponsors. We have JC Newman to thank because we do work with JC Newman. We have Villiger Cigars to thank. We do work with Villiger, sponsor work with Villiger, sponsor work with Steve Saka. So we're thankful for those companies who have continued to come alongside of us. We do have it's not on paper yet, but I have text confirmation that we are going to be bringing on another company next year. So looking forward to that. And we have to have those things in order to bring you guys what we can do for you guys. And I'm thankful that you guys have stuck around long enough to make this a show worthy enough. Hey, we hit 21. You guys have stuck around long enough to make sure this is a show that is worth sponsoring from other companies. So hats off to you. If I could all give you a box of cigars, I would give you all a box of cigars as well. Now I will
That's not in the budget.
I will not be smoking that tonight, as tempting as that is.
No. I brought it so you could smoke it tonight.
I've already cut into a cigar that I was.
What are you cutting into?
Umbiog Bronze Back.
Well, give it to me.
No!
Give it to me.
No!
See this? I gave him a box of his
the channel
most
gave
favorite
me.
cigars.
The channel gave me.
Well, the Chief Talk can give,
and they're
me
not
the
my
Umbiog
most
Bronze
favorite
Back.
cigars. It's actually between. Is this the Maduro?
Yes.
It's actually number one for this year. Is between these two cigars. One is 1 and 1 is 2.
So smoke the Wise Man first and then end off with the Bronze Back.
No, I'm gonna.
No, smoke the Wise Man first and end up with the Bronze
No,
Back.
because I want to take pictures of a full box.
Smoke the Wise Man first. Put another cigar in the lower pocket where you can't
probably
see it.
just end up doing
And
that.
just do that.
Fine. You twisted my arm. Oh no, I've gotta smoke this. All right, let me come back in here. Adam Wolf.
Abe did not. Now wait a minute, Steel Bob. The channel purchased those cigars. Abe just made a point to send Steven a Merry Christmas letter and ship it out to extremely quick. The channel actually purchased those cigars. So don't call Abe and say, why you send Bob all these cigars? You don't send me nothing, because Abe's gonna be looking at you like Bob, why did you lie? I didn't lie. So I wouldn't ask Abe to send Chief a box of cigars.
I don't have my pocket knife on me. You got one over there?
Thank you. Do I have a pocket knife? Do I not have a pocket knife? I have tons of pocket knives and knives. Cutlery of all kinds. Right here.
All right. So as I'm getting into this box of cigars, Adam Wolf says, "Hey family, sorry I've been missing lately. Been working on a project." Nah, you've been live streaming on Instagram. Jay Bates, I think he owns or has shares in Jimmy John's. They're freaky fast. Cigar Head Fred, finally catching a live stream. It's been a long time.
Welcome back, buddy.
I'm glad Adam Wolf and Cigar Head Fred are here with us this evening. Michael Zakovic, Sammy Flo, how you doing, Sammy Flo? Evening, gentlemen. I actually talked to Sammy Flo on the phone the other day. We sat in the chat for a while. Let's see. If you send you that, and I get an El Septimo. He got the El Septimo from the Cigar of the Month Club, and it was not great. Cigarhead Fred, bronze back is a chef's kiss. Yes, sir. It is. The photography struggle is real. Yes, it is. Hello to my sister.
Hey, Gracie.
Sammy Flo, wise man, so good. Jay Bates, now you sound like your dad. I believe I have it on record with Chief saying you don't need a full box. I know, just giving Chief a hard time. Well, I'm here for the hard times. Bob, would you like to indulge in one of these cigars as well?
Thank you.
I would like to give
thank
you
one
of these.
You enjoy, my friend.
Are you sure about that?
You earned them. You worked hard for those.
That's because you got yourself a box somewhere and you just
haven't
told me which one it is. Well, you will at some point.
I don't think I will.
No, you always do.
No, I don't always do.
Actually, last year you didn't get a box. You turned it into stuff for your coins.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year or not, but I wanted to make sure that you felt appreciated. So,
well, allow me to appreciate back. These are
no, because I can't give you control of the credit card because we would have nothing but lenses and new camera
you'd end up with a box of Weissman Maduros, one minus, and I'd end up with a lens.
No, thank you.
Oh, Adam Wolf says, me and my buddy Wolfie are working on growing our Cigars and Horror IG page. That just happens, to be on Thursdays.
Well, might I suggest y'all do a review series of the Tatuaje Skinny Monsters? The Skinny Monsters are the best. They beat the originals. They beat the Chubbies. They are the best. The Lancero series of the Skinny Monsters is the best.
I have to find somebody else to give the ratchet to.
The ratchet to?
The basically like an admin position on the Adam Wolf, Charles Adamson, and Mac Berkson will have it. Mm. Mac Berkson will not be here tonight because the Spuds are in the championship game. Now, I'm actually really happy about having the Weissman Maduro.
Is it good?
It's very good. It's great. It's fantastic. I haven't smoked the cigar since the week after PCA, so it's very nice to have these.
So I'm going to take the high and low on how long you're going to have that box.
Much longer than you imagine.
Have you aged? Have you started to mature?
Because there's 20 cigars in this box, right?
In there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 18. 2, 4, 6, 8. No, it's 20. Yeah. So it doesn't take a while. I'll make sure they take.
I remember one year we bought you what's the Unico series? The UF4?
No, the L40.
The L40. You smoked through that first box that you got.
Yep. And the other box is in that humidor almost all the way full.
Yeah, what I'm saying is when you first got it, you would chum through them things like.
No, last year was the fastest year. I was done with those cigars in 2 weeks. It was the Olmec Claro. Now they were Robustos, and there's only 10 or 12 in that box, so it's not a lot of cigars.
That's funny. Your number one cigar that you wanted, because I asked you, I said, "What do you want?" You said, "Well, I know we don't have a lot of money, so a bundle of bronze back." Or I said, "If we had more money, well, the Wise Man Maduro." And I said, "All right, I'm glad you didn't say Senator, because then your feelings would be hurt." Or that Knight Commander, your feelings would definitely be hurt.
I was lighting up an Umbagog bronze back tonight. And I poured the very last bit of Eagle Rare to celebrate.
I got none out of that bottle.
You did. To celebrate the last show of the year.
Not a dram.
You want this? I'll give it to you.
No, thank you very much. You probably done stuck your nose in there.
I have not. I just brought out some of the good stuff to end out the year. Just to say thank you to everybody who's been here all year.
You did do a great job this year.
We've had a bunch of people, join Chief Talk this year and stay and be here for a while.
You did do a great job this year. I mean, we had some rocky moments and stuff that we had to work through and stuff, but it has been a year where you've really put in some work. And next year will be Year of the Chief, and I'm already harping on you about things for that. So I'm going to keep doing my job so that we can have an awesome 2025.
That's the hope and the goal. We're this is the time of year where a lot of cigar companies go really quiet.
J-Bait, you're a turd.
Because they're doing their Christmas parties and they're celebrating and they're leaving the offices and whatnot. They've gotten all their shipments out for the rest of the year, so a lot of the cigar companies kind of go dormant around this time of year. So it's definitely, I'm looking forward to next year. I hinted at this a couple weeks ago about Chief Talk's going to evolve into a bigger beast, I think, next year. I'm looking forward to that. I'm scared, but ultimately, if you're not scared, I think maybe you're not
Right.
doing enough. You're not pushing yourself hard enough.
Right. Now, I will tell you, I almost bought you a box of Norteño since they're no more. But then I'm like, there's no way I'm going to let him smoke all those Norteños. I would end up stealing his cigars. And so just that I didn't make myself a thief.
Matt, I'm so glad that you've joined us and you're a part of the group. There's a handful of people and there's some people who come in from time to time. Christy Whitmore, Asim, and a few others, who have come in this year. And I'm super thankful for everybody who has come along the ride and decides to spend some time with me every Thursday night when they could be doing something else. And I really appreciate that. So this toast is to you guys and for a happy and healthy and very successful 2025. Oh, man. Eagle Rear is so good. Senor Anthony Giannis, how are you doing this evening? There was something I was going to say or talk about. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh, well, one is, what are you smoking this evening? I want to know. And then the other thing that I was going to say before I completely forget it again is I smoked a cigar last night that blew me off of my feet. Because
it tasted too heavy, or
no,
it was good?
It was so good. And when I tell you the name of the company, you'll be like, well, duh, it's supposed to taste good. But the thing is this company, who I have smoked many cigars from before, never this blend, and at least never this Vitola. I have always felt like it leaves a lot to be desired for the name and the price point.
So was it from a PC? Was it out of your PCA bag?
No, it was a gift to me from Senor Jamie Vaughn. It was a Merry Christmas gift. On Wednesday nights I go over to Jamie's house when the time is right and everything's permitting, and I get to go over and smoke at his house. And last night I had brought a Liga 9 for him as a Christmas gift, but I brought myself a Liga 10 and I brought a Savage Feast, and then there was a Villiger cigar in there that I never know how much I'm going to smoke when I'm over there. And before I could even break open my humidor, Jamie pulled out a little double bag of cigars that I imagined he got from the lounges just down the road, and it was 2 Padron anniversaries.
Anniversario?
The anniversary series.
Okay.
It's the 1930 or 1864 anniversary series. And it was the number 4 Vitola. So it was a Gordo box press.
Oh.
And
God, that's big.
Man, oh man.
That's big.
6x60 box press. It was a fantastic cigar.
Torpedo or flat top?
No, rounded regular Parejo. That was a fantastic cigar. Really, really good cigar. And it was the only cigar I smoked last night. It was so good.
You didn't want to mess it with nothing
usually
else.
Usually with Jamie, like I'll I'll smoke a Toro down and I'll be, an hour in and be out like, hey man, can I smoke another? We got time. And, usually he's like, yeah, man, let's go ahead. I smoked that cigar so slow, it took me 2.5 hours to finish the cigar because that cigar was so good. I could not believe I've enjoyed Padron cigars before, but I've always thought that just doesn't taste like a $20 cigar, or
Maso does.
That doesn't taste like something that Padron has had their name attached to.
Fair enough.
And I tell you what, that anniversary series number 4 was incredible.
He's going to make your list, even though you hadn't smoked 3 of them.
I changed that rule a couple of years ago. Last year, that rule did not pertain. It's suggested if I have the chance, right? It's a suggested rule for myself. Like if I have the opportunity to do it, I will do it. And if I have the opportunity to gauge, my smoking on, with the ability to have that many cigars, I will use that as a metric. But I don't have that ability all the time.
Right.
And I'm not gonna go buy 2 more of those number 4s between now and the end of the year and try to wolf them down. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a top 20 cigar for me.
Very cool. Lots of comments, by the way.
Which in my, I don't think I've ever had a big tier company, like one of the old school companies, ever make my top list.
See, I was thinking you might have said it was a Fuente or something like that.
I don't think I've ever had a Fuente, a Padron, a Davidoff, ever.
I've given you a couple of opuses, and you've never really it's never really been your
for whatever reason, that cigar just knocked me off my feet. It was so good. Cigar Head Fred's got a Diamond Crown Maximus, number 4. Nice. What is Skibbity Bop Toilet Good? I just recently found out that it can mean something good, cool, bad, or evil. Adam Wolf's got the CAO Orellana with some Broad Branch rum. Nice. That's Mr. Carhart now. That is Senor Carhart. Cigarhead Fred's got Drinking Balcones Lineage Single Malt. Ooh. Got a rep Texas, baby. Texas in the house. That Padron 1964 anniversary is delightfully delicious. It is. How'd you know there's a squirrel out in the shop? Allison, how are you doing this evening? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you've got some time to smoke something good. If you are, let me know what you're smoking.
So I was going to ask you a question. I was going to lead the question in talking about, the old adage of the elephant being scared by the mouse. You've got this guy who is all over Facebook, flexing his muscles in the gym at night and blah, 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 blah. Gets on the phone and calls me and says, we got to do something about this squirrel. It keeps looking at me. Little fuzzy squirrel scaring the fool out of big old chief. It's a squirrel.
After you just sat there and complained to me on the phone the other day about, man, we got to do something about these squirrels. We got 2 of them in here. I can't get them.
That's because the squirrels are going to eat through they've eaten through some of our stuff. I have a Drew Estate sign, a wooden Drew Estate sign. Squirrel ate a corner off of it. And I'm like, really? I hadn't even taken it out of the box yet. And it's chewed up. So, I got stuff. I don't want to be eating up all my stuff.
No, the thing is like, I don't mind the squirrel per se. Like, I'm not terrified of squirrels.
It is a big squirrel, though.
I'm over there working on the lathe, right? Doing some projects for Christmas presents. I don't have time to be working with this thing that's spinning around that could suck my hand into it or suck my beard in it when I'm looking for a squirrel, and then I'm fighting the lathe instead of having to fight the squirrel. Or I'm over here doing my thing on the lathe, ignoring the squirrel, and all of a sudden little Mr. Squirrel come up on my shoulder and says, hey, what you want? Oh, look at that earlobe.
Oh, that'd be cool as crap if a squirrel jumped on your shoulder while you're on the lathe.
I tell you what, Jackson is brave enough when it comes to wildlife to be like, oh, I'll go after that thing, man. I'll play with it. Now, I'll chase after. Your sister
did that.
I'll chase after snakes. I don't have a problem with snakes. I'm good with I'm good with going after the snakes, but there are some things out there. Well, I just walked over a grave that I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not have to deal with that if I don't have to. And squirrels running around the top of the shop while I'm working on a lathe and a drill press is not where I want to be.
It is a big squirrel. It's almost the size of a small cat. That thing is, that thing is big.
All the handguns you have and you haven't taken care of.
Dude, I'm not shooting up my shop. Now,
the thing is, like, you don't shoot through your roof.
I did talk to the first lady because the squirrels are ridiculous now, and I said, we just need to get a pellet gun, and I'll climb up in the loft and shoot me a squirrel with a pellet gun.
You don't have to do that. You just sit down here and just wait for them to climb up in there because they go across the top of the stuff, and then they shimmy on down. Yeah. And the thing that really was bothering me was he was right above the table saw. And I was using the table saw, and I thought when I first saw it, I had cut the table saw on it. It went running across the top of the shop and down and out. I was like, oh great, because when I was over here the other day, there was a squirrel in here, but once I scared it out, it never came back, and I was out here for 10 hours almost. I don't know, but just coming in here late, maybe it was already in bed going to sleep, and me covering the door and
I got to get rid of it,
making it look dark. Maybe it thought, oh, it's bedtime. Let me just come inside and hang out.
I got to get rid of it.
And so, sitting up there, doing that and having to go to the table saw, I cut it off and I hear something right above my head. I mean, almost within arm's reach. It wasn't that close, but it was about a foot away from the tips of my fingers. And it was just dead there staring at me, hanging on a hammer. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have anything to throw at this thing. What am I gonna do if he jumps at my face? I mean, it's like you're battling this split-second decision-making process of like, what am I going to do when this happens? Cigar Head Fred, Bob, how long has it been since you smoked the Argyle cigars? I remember that review from years ago. A friend of mine is smoking one now.
I probably haven't smoked an Argyle since I did that review. I'm really having a hard time in my head trying to remember the Argyle cigar review, to be honest.
Adam Wolf says I should make some squirrel chili. George Pablo, my boy.
My man.
What's going on? All the way from the frozen white tundra in the north. I actually was on the phone with Jeremy and George and Ron at the same time the other night. And they were talking about the weather. And it was, I guess it was 2 nights. Maybe it was last night I was on the phone with them. And when they called me, it was almost 70 degrees, and they were in the high 20s. So, Tim Winters, get that squirrel cigar and make a new friend. Hey, I'm sure that squirrel would enjoy coming in here.
I bet he would. And eat all our dang cigars.
George says, it's snowing as I listen.
Wow.
BTCG, how is that paleo lighter doing? Are you still keeping track of the amount of cigar it lights?
I have run through. This is a different one. Actually, I think I gave my original to somebody else. No, I ended up sending it to Zycar or Quality Importers because they wanted to actually look at it. No, they're talking about this one. Oh. I got 125 full-size cigars toasted and lit with this lighter before I had to refill it. Fantastic and phenomenal lighter. Still looks like the Death Star, or looks like what are those? The big ships on Star Wars.
The Star Destroyers.
Star Destroyers. Doesn't it look like the back of the Star Destroyer?
You're gonna melt that camera.
Don't. This is this is my choice for our next lighter for swag. This lists your price if you buy one without then it won't have these stickers. It'll actually have the Bob the Cigar Guy logo, the Chief logo, and stuff on it like that. I think it lists under $30.
Nice.
So, and I've got one.
Yeah, more lightsaber-esque for Star Wars reference.
This is the Xeno one. You can have the laser engraved on the metal. You can have Xeno on the front. You can have Xeno on the back. You can have So we could do all sorts of stuff on the back, on the front, and up here. We can swap it up really good. It's got a real nice cigar rest, big dial for changing the flame.
Chain.
And it's got a real good. If you ate barbecue all day, that lighter still, it's still easy to depress. Look at that. It'll light. That joker will get. And you don't have to put it on the high heat like I do. I don't like putting on low. I just back up from the cigar.
Matt, those stickers are they're not like, they're kind of more stickers of stuff that you're not going to like put in a humidor or put on your pocket or something. Those were the stickers that went on the poker chips from last year, 2023's giveaways. So they're not, they look cool, but that's because
it would wear out after a while.
It sits very still.
Yeah, it would wear out after a while.
It doesn't go in a bag or anything like that.
Jay Bates, you have that lighter that I think I had the stickers on. Are those stickers still any good?
So with this being the last show of the year, do you have any highlights from from any of the shows this year that you're like, man, I really enjoyed that show. That was a really fun show.
Of Chief Talk?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm be honest. I really liked when Cindy, Yvonne, and Sarah took over Chief Talk. That was a fun show. It also ended up where I got to go to Steve Saka's house for 4th of July. So that, there's a little plus on that too.
Right.
We had some really good shows. We had some really funny shows. The one I was most pleasantly surprised about was when we did the March Madness.
Yeah.
And when we did the bracketing one. Which I guess was March Madness, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed with that. I actually reached out to Villiger and I told him, I said, hey, feller on the group actually started sending out sampler packages to people who would buy sampler packages so they could try Villiger. And so that was a great ad revenue for us. The number one live that we did all year long was the first episode of PC After Dark. So I reached out to Villiger and told them that too. So hopefully we'll be doing PC After Dark again next year because that's more funded content.
Yeah, the PCA streams did really well. Now, I think we decided the reason that did so well is because you did it to where it was vertical video for the live streams, and that showed up in the shorts. So even though you didn't have like a bunch of comments and stuff on it, you had people going through and hey, views are views, right? So
Quality Importers was good. That's true. The Quality Importers one was good with Jenny.
The very first show
and Giordano.
The very first show this year, I didn't realize that the Dumbarton Ladies was the second week of the year, the second show of the year.
Really?
Yeah. Episode 2, Dumbarton Lady Takeover.
God, dog.
That is one of my favorite shows of the year. Obviously,
y'all don't tell First Lady.
Obviously, we didn't have a lot of guests on this year.
No.
Right. We've tried to focus more on the channel this year, and I think that's spoiler. That's something we're going to change next year. But also, I kind of feel like so many live streamers are grabbing up a lot of the people that I'd love to grab up, and I don't want to go be ahead and say, hey, let me have you on my show, because they're like, oh man, it's another show.
Yeah, Steve Saka would always be on, but he's inundated.
Right. Everybody wants to have Steve on the show, which good reason.
Right. I'd love to have Tim Swanson on.
So the second show of the year was the Dumbarton Lady Takeover. That was a great show. Let's see. Then we kind of, went on the regular roundabout for a little bit. We had the shows not too far before or right around TPE. So we talked about some of the TPE stuff. We didn't go to TPE, but there was some stuff that came out in press releases for TPE. And then we jumped into the 4 weeks of March Madness bracket challenge.
5 weeks.
Well, we had 4 weeks of the brackets, and then we had the winners against each other. And I believe, if I remember correctly, what was it? Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust won
the overall cigar?
I believe it was either Dumbarton or Drew Estate. But J.C. Newman had a good.
Well, we did Villiger, we did J.C. Newman, we did Drew Estate and Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, 4 companies that sponsor the channel.
I don't know
then we had
who the other sponsor is going to be for next year. You have not alluded that to me yet.
I've talked to you about it. So I'm not reading any comments right now because I'm actually on a different page. I can't see the stream right now. So if you see any comments that pop up and need to be addressed, you go ahead. Right. Then we had 3 PCA shows. And you know what? Those you did. You had the day one of PCA, which was the second show, got 634 views during the stream. And then the third night, the last one with Mac. Actually, both of them were with Mac. All 3 of them were with Mac. If I can
Mac
remember.
was off one night.
The last one was 585 views.
And that's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because we
right. I don't have any of the. I'm not going to go pull the metrics for Facebook. Facebook actually has better metrics because they do their metrics differently.
I think our total was over 3,000 for all the shows across all streams, which is pretty impressive. And we got a lot of comments from people in the industry, media people in the industry, saying that's a great idea. Because Coop has one. Cigar Dojo has one late night, like midnight show.
Right. On Thursdays.
Yeah.
And then let's see. We had the 5-year anniversary, the full 5-year anniversary of Chief Talk this year. So even though we're in season 6, I changed it 1 year to be, instead of changing the season at the year mark, we just changed it at the calendar date. So we will have season 7 starting in next year. So that's awesome. But we did complete 5 full years this year. We're in our 6th year for Chief Talk this year. Then we had on Senor Michael Giordano and Michael Giannini.
Great show.
That was a fantastic
show.
Actually, that ended up being a really fun show.
But it's sad.
And you guys got, I wouldn't go that far.
It's sad because one of the guys who won the lighter never, ever, ever gave me his address. I reached out to him every way I could. Never got a hold of him. Still sitting right here. This will either be something I keep for myself, or because I didn't get one, or it will be a giveaway. So, Sammy Flo and Jay Bates, don't ask, you can't have it. Don't tell the first lady either.
They both got one already.
Yeah, that don't mean they won't say do a giveaway. Get the first lady in here.
Then this year, you went on your trips to Europe. You went to the Barn Smoker without me. There was a show that you and Mom did that I was sick, that I had to MC from a distance.
Yeah.
Then we had one in-person show this year, right before the hurricane. Actually, night before the hurricane, Senor Law Ream
came out. That was a great show
with Zeno, and that was a fun show. Great having Law in the studio.
Even though he told me I didn't know what I was talking about when I talked about the cigar, he goes, "No, throw that away. That one's no good. That's not supposed to taste like that." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Smoke that one."
Then we had the Kentucky Barn Smoker, and then not too long after the Kentucky Barn Smoker, we had the Florida Barn Smoker, and then we did the last bracket challenge of the year we did for Thanksgiving, and so we did a Thanksgiving bracket with the Thanksgiving foods available and whatnot. So we had a great show this year. 43 shows this year. The goal is 40. We always say when we pitch our services for sponsorship, we always say we're going to do at least 40 shows.
And we
give ourselves the grace of basically taking off once a month, if necessary.
Barn smokers, somebody's sick.
Well, that's the thing. Is sometimes not just taking off whatever we want to take off. It's it's a holiday, because we don't do a show during 4th of July. We don't do a show for Thanksgiving. We don't do a show for Christmas.
Right.
So there's 3 shows that are knocked out right there. Then we have 2 shows this year. No, 3 shows this year that were for Barn Smokers. So that's 6 shows just right there that we did not we didn't hit.
And then if the internet goes down,
right? So it's been great this year with all that. I think my number one thing this year is just seeing Chief Talk grow. Also, another really cool thing this year was we went 33 shows in a row, or
20 plus,
33 shows in this calendar year with 20 plus concurrent watchers at the same time. Now, we had 20 ending the year last year. So the streak's actually a little bit longer. But the streak actually got broken at when Law was here, the Xeno stream. We ended up not beating 20. So that'll actually tell me the exact amount of streams that we did in a row without 20. Which one is Law? He was 35. So we did 34.
Which is really 54.
34 streams in a row.
Plus 20 from last year.
Well, I don't know how many we did last year in a row. But that's 34 streams this year in a row that we hit 20. And then the only times we've not hit 20 since then was the Law stream and then last week. Last week, the highest we got to was 18. So this year, 41 streams
pretty good
have hit 20. So
that's why you get a box of cigars. and and like you're talking about, it's going to change up, and you'll probably talk about that. But also, I'm going to be a lot more absent, like I have been. This is Chief Talk, and we need to build Chief's brand as a standalone brand within the Bob the Cigar Guy universe. And Chief has a lot of awesome content, a lot of awesome ideas, and he needs to be able to grow those his own way. Now, he's going to be bringing on more guests. And if Steve Saka comes on, I'm going to be here. If Tim Swanson comes on, I'm going to be here.
Listen,
if
my
other
goal
people come
next
on,
year,
I'm going to pick and choose when I'm going to come in. I own the keys to the dang property, so I'll be here. You won't tell me not to be here.
I haven't told you not to be here for any of it.
You have not.
Anytime that you're here, you're making that decision.
You're absolutely right.
Let's come up here. All right. I enjoyed it when Law was on and broke the F-bomb record. Jay Bates, yes sir, still there. Use it in the yard all the time. Cigars and bonfires, always in my pocket. That's one with the stickers on it. Fireborn, the episodes of Quality Importers giving out swag, and any episode with the First Lady and her giveaways.
Fair enough.
Matt Berger, Quality Importers episode was great. Cigarhead Fred or Cigarhead TV for sure would love to smoke with you guys. Absolutely, man. Matt Berger, plus anytime the First Lady joins, Larry Bob is a gem. Hunter, so I'm curious, how did all y'all get connected with BTCG? For me, it was when they appeared on the Bearded Bros with Brad and Kevin. That was a long time ago.
That was a while ago.
Supremo Tobacco said it was Law's shiny head that scared the peeps away. Hunter says mine may have been the same way from Bob Ellis. Hunter I was just looking for cigar content to watch, and that's one of the good things
found us.
With YouTube is while we are still technically back in their good graces, we're not monetized unfortunately, but while we are in their good graces to be able to upload and to go live still, it is I'm glad that you guys can still find us by people looking for streams and things the like. There was something else. Oh, one of the things that actually surprised me when you were reading out those numbers earlier, I did not know that in this year we had eclipsed 1,000 subscribers.
I didn't either. That kind of surprised me.
Before the apocalypse happened back in 2019, 2020, whenever that happened, when a lot of creators got demonetized and ads started going away and whatnot, we were averaging almost 1,000 subscribers every 8 months. We were kicking butt and we were growing. We were growing very fast, and it started out very slow, and then it just got to be where after a couple years of being slow, it was boom, 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 boom. And then the whole YouTube thing happened where they slammed anybody who made regulated material content. So tobacco, alcohol, firearms, and the devil's lettuce and things the like. Everybody got slammed real hard, and the whole entire
shadow
community
banned and all that.
The whole entire community really felt it. Now, there were some who didn't feel it as much as we did because they were already bigger. And luckily, we were friends with a lot of those people, and so they've done a lot. Tim Swanson has done more for the growth of our channel than any other creator at any point in time. Because last year, we gained 400 subscribers just from him talking about us in his PCA video. And then we gained another 300 followers this year, subscribers this year, just on YouTube because of being in Tim Swanson's PCA video. So
he's very kind.
For the past year and a half, almost half of all of our subscriber growth in that time has come because of Tim Swanson, and we're so thankful, and he's killing it, and we're happy that I'm happy. I'm excited that he continues to just smash through the barriers of what people think cigar YouTubers should have in terms of subscribers and numbers and whatnot. The fact that Cigars Daily is just killing it on Monday nights is insane.
And to those people who are talking about First Lady giveaways and stuff like that, you will be happy to hear that First Lady is committed to at least the first 6 months of second Saturdays with the First Lady, and every one of them will be mainly the First Lady. I probably will start off in the beginning working with her just as training wheels, and then I will kind of shift over to where I'm doing the logistics and being in there, making sure the video is going right and sitting off camera. But each one of them will be giveaway driven. There will be a giveaway, but you will have to watch it live to be in the giveaway. It will be a live giveaway. So that's coming up this year.
So Sammy Flo answered Hunter and said, Bob came up to me during a barn smoker about 3 years ago, and I introduced him, and the rest is history.
I love me some
That's
Sammy
right.
Flo.
The Savage Feast year, 2022. Tim Winters, I was watching a Tim Swanson on PCA when he bumped into Bob the Cigar Guy and started following after. I think it was the same episode I watched with Tim Swanson. Adam Wolf, who I think in the current people watching is the longest Chief Talk watcher here. The only people who would beat out Adam current, like if they were to come on right now, would be Sherry, Stogie's sister, anybody who's in the Shadow Smokers Legion, Gary Brooks,
Sammy
Shade, which Sammy Shade hadn't been on a long time.
Hashimoto.
Yeah, those guys were the original crew.
Who were the ones that helped us do the electrics?
The A-Chord.
The A-Chords.
This was in my recommended list. That's how I found Bob the
Wow.
Cigar Guy. So that's how
cool.
I know where. That's what doesn't surprise me so much with it hitting 1,000 this year. I just didn't know we hit 1,000 this year, or in the calendar year, which it was over 1,000. So hopefully we're back on the track of maybe next year instead of 1,000 it'll be 1,500, and the year after that it'll be 3, and so on and so forth.
I'd like to hit 10,000 subscribers.
Bob Ellis has got to be pretty close to Adam. Bob Ellis, you are pretty close to Adam. You and Adam are very close. I want to say Adam Wolf has been here since streams were like 5 people. I could be wrong.
It was back when you were on the porch, on the balcony.
Rick Carroll found us searching cigar media.
Wow.
Jay Bates, yep, same way as Sammy Flo, worked with Chief and Bob the Cigar at the PA Barn Smoker in 22, and have been fans and watching ever since.
It feels like we've known Sammy Flo and the Barber and Cigars and Jay Bates and the Road Dogs for our whole life, doesn't it?
When I sit and think about our relationship with the other non-DE volunteers at Barn Smoker, because we are a non-DE volunteer, the Road Dogs are non-DE volunteers, the Barber and Cigar, they're there, they're working event, as barbers. I think that it's like, it is hard to think like about my cigar history before ever having them as friends. Like I look back and see how different and that's one of the things I love so much about Chief Talk, and that's one of the things I worry about next year with bringing on more guests, is I have truly gotten the most satisfaction of Chief Talk out of making connections and making friends with people I might not ever meet. Now, Jay Bates, I met him because he was friends with Jeremy Smith, but Jeremy Smith I had been friends on Facebook with for a long time. But I had never met Jeremy Smith. I had never heard of Jay Bates or George or Ron or, anything like that. And, because I knew Jeremy online, because Jeremy has followed the channel for a very long time.
And he was in Cigar Cartel.
He's in the Cigar Cartel. That when we saw each other, it was the Pennsylvania Barn Smoker in 2022. And him and the Road Dogs were up at the top, where...
Sandstorm?
No, Pennsylvania, not Connecticut. That's the same year, but it was Pennsylvania first. And, when you come in at the Pennsylvania farm, you've got that white barn to the right, and you have that parking lot in the grass right above it. That's where they were, and they were coming down, and Jeremy came and shook my hand and introduced me to himself and to the Road Dogs, and that's how it's been. Hunter Ox, the Tim and Bradley cigar review is where I learned everything I know about cigars as a newbie. Rip Bradley. Absolutely. That was a big thing this year, is losing Brad Reith this year. I want to say it's one of the first, to my knowledge, cigar reviewers that we have actually physically lost in the media, to my knowledge. I'm sure there's other people that I've never heard of or had any relationship with or whatnot. That have maybe passed since then. And there have been some people who have stopped uploading content, like Brian Glenn no longer uploads to YouTube and whatnot. I think he does all of his stuff on Rumble. Even if he does it, I don't know if he does it anymore.
I think he's doing his motorcycle stuff a lot more.
But, I used to love, and I got to be on the Bearded Bros podcast, a few times, talking about football and talking about food and talking about, the Bible and all that kind of stuff. We've made a lot of good friends this year. People who have come into the fold and, committed a little bit more by buying swag or buying ornaments and things like that. This year was a big year. This was our first year ever having professional made cigar accessories. This was the year that we got our own lighters. We got our own cutters. We got our own travel humidors.
And we still have them if you'd like to go.
Yeah, we do. You can go to chevettereport.com, see the only link in the description. Go up to the top, hit the merch page, and you can buy yourself a cutter, lighter, humidor. And if you buy the whole combo, you get an extra cigar rest for $3.99. Also, if you want an ornament, you can get in there too.
And you won't get them in time for Christmas, but this box is full of Christmas ornaments. Just saying.
Supremo Tobacco, I found Bob at the Cavenders in Dallas.
Yeah, I remember that. When we were buying your cowboy outfit.
Cowboy hat.
Dad, I need a hat. Dad, I got to have a hat. Oh, yeah, it was
a hat and a bolo.
I got to have a hat. How much is the hat? $157. What? No. Get a straw hat. No, you started there. You smart. You start there, so when you get to 70, 80, I'm all right with it. But if you start at 70, 80, you're going 30, 40. So you ain't dumb. I got it.
Met Brian at the ranch at Savage East. Was that the first place? No, did we meet at the first time at the ranch? I thought the first place that we met was at the hotel at night when you guys had gone and gotten in and out, and then somebody didn't eat their food, and so I got to eat their leftover, the food that they got. So it's not leftovers; it wasn't touched. But
you gonna eat your cornbread?
Rick Carroll met us at the 2022 PA Barn Smoker. You and your wife, we got to meet both of you there. Bob Ellis met Sammy Shade in line at the 2019 Barn Smoker. It was really cool to meet someone I talk with on the stream each week. And that's been a really cool thing as well, is we've been able to see people make real life connections in person through people in chat. Sammy Shade, Hunter Otts, I think the first year it was Sammy Shade, Bob Ellis and Jordan Young all met each other at the Barn Smoker that year in 2019, along with meeting Bob and myself,
which we love.
And absolutely, it's one of the best
highlights.
Parts.
Yeah.
So it's definitely I that's one of the things that I never want to see change with Chief Talk, is I never want Chief Talk to be something that doesn't continue to bring people together. And it's like we've learned, there are a couple people who live in the same area of Michigan, and maybe eventually they end up hanging out, at a cigar lounge together, or going over to somebody's house and hanging out and smoking, and maybe they become friends. And hey, I've got a tree fell in my yard. All right, I'll be over there to help you pick it up. Let me tell you, Bob and Chief are some of the hardest working dudes at the events. We're hard, all right. I think that was the night after. No, I don't know. I don't really remember the exact timeline of the amount, like when I met you. And I always have, because you and I, Brian, have become such good friends since that time. When I met you, when we got to hang out at PCA this year, I treated that as like seeing you for the first time ever. Because when I met you for the first time, I didn't know you very well. We weren't trying to be friends or anything. We were friendly, but we weren't like, oh man, give me your phone number. Let me text you.
You weren't as deep into photography as you're in now.
Right.
So, you have a lot more clicking.
And so, I'd always felt bad, leading up to going to PCA this past year. I'd always felt bad that I didn't spend more time talking with Brian and hanging out with him, because it was like, man, if I never ever get to meet you ever again, I hate that the one time that I've actually met you in person, I didn't, take it to the fullest extent. And so I'm thankful for, last year PCA, this past year's PCA, getting to hang out with you and Mike, especially, and going and eating at In-N-Out or barbecue place.
We are going to PCA again this year.
We are.
So,
I'm already in talks with Brian and Mike. Don't you worry about that. I sent them some Airbnbs today. I found a really cool townhouse. Really? Yeah.
Can you smoke there?
There's a balcony.
No,
it's actually.
We gotta have an area where I can shoot videos.
It's actually really cool. It's a townhouse above a bar.
I'm not interested in that. I need a place to smoke cigars.
It's got a huge
do PCA after dark.
Oh, look at that. Sorry.
No, we gotta.
It was just a preliminary look.
All right. No, I want a courtyard. Now, have you ever seen Dojo set up? Dojo gets a townhouse, and their budget's a lot better than ours is, but they get a pool with a courtyard and a covered gazebo kind of place, and I mean they get the goods.
Yeah, so we've got to.
And we're driving there this year, so we'll be able to drive.
I don't know if we're doing that either. No, flights are way cheaper to New Orleans than it is to Vegas.
Yeah, but Bubba, I will have the BMW 4 Series convertible. We can ride in a convertible.
God, no. Can't smoke in that. No, I was looking. So PCA does a thing where they block rooms out at hotels in Vegas. Well, this year they blocked rooms in a hotel. There's not choices, and the room rate is $300 a night.
No, we wouldn't be able to eat. We'd have to bring our own ramen.
But there are a handful of big hotels near the convention center, and then there are a bunch of regular type hotels around the convention center as well. But one of the things I want to look into is Airbnbs that possibly have like a courtyard or something like that. But I also kind of want to do a better job this year at looking at Airbnbs that maybe we can get more people in. Because last year we had a lot of the guys from the Dead Leaf Breakfast Club that were there, and we had talked about possibly doing an Airbnb, but everything was just so expensive. I didn't really understand the whole entire system. I probably shouldn't have been the one in charge of it. But I think, here
we had a great place in Vegas this year though.
I think, and that's the thing is like Vegas is so densely packed with hotels and businesses around the convention center that there's not homes there. They're on the outskirts, and so you can't just walk to the convention center and whatnot.
Yeah.
The French Quarter and downtown New Orleans are way different. The hotels aren't nearly as huge, and there's more townhomes and things that are around that side of New Orleans. So,
and we got some seasoning under our belt. I know when I talked to Eric from Cigar Dojo, he goes, "Look, we do Airbnbs, but it's your first year." It was the first year. He said it was our first year. You need to get a hotel at the location, so that you're not having to deal with the driving and the planning of this and that. And then this year, we stretched out a little bit, so we got a hotel adjacent, kind of nearby, which we can still walk to.
Listen, if we're going to PCA when it goes back to Vegas in 3 years, and they're doing it at that convention center again, we're going back to that courtyard.
I love that hotel.
We're going back.
That hotel was perfect.
That was a small hotel with a completely closed off courtyard. Nobody was there.
Yep, it was older.
It was perfect. We will go right back to that hotel.
We could walk to everywhere. I would be going to that bagel place for breakfast every day because we could walk there every day. I love that bagel place. Sorry, we're geeking out over. Sorry, y'all are really enjoying this content, I bet. But.
So yeah, all that to say, this is kind of weird. I'm having this conversation on Chief Talks. It's really more of a conversation between he and myself and anybody else in the Deadly Breakfast Club who ends up possibly going. At some point, I'm gonna reach back out to the Deadly Breakfast Club, see who all's going to PCA. I have a pretty good idea of everybody who are probably going to PCA or 50%-ish going to PCA, in a sense of people who have either been or who are working with companies currently who would probably take them to PCA, or freelancers who find their way to PCA through, sponsorships and
PCA
shooting.
cigar reps. Lost Deadly Breakfast Club still.
Oh, but I'm sure his company is going to pay for all his stuff. So, because Zena or Davidoff will be at PCA this year.
Yeah, they will.
Now he's not sure if he's going to be there.
Fireborn, we would love to do Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest, but the budget just does not allow. I know that we could get tickets in there for free, but the flights up there, the hotel accommodations, the food and everything, we just can't swing it. That's one of the places I'd really like to go. That
we gotta get more fat contracts.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Now that's hopefully part of the goal. Is the more that we grow, every week that passes as we grow, right, is another opportunity to send an email to a company and say, look, by the way, and that's probably what I'm going to do is now that I have that, I'm going to have you send me that information, and I'll go and don't send it to me right this. Oh, actually, you can. Doesn't matter. I'll go find the information on Facebook as well, and I'll actually send a follow-up message to some of these people and be like, hey, by the way, we actually increased our reach by this much in this year, and that's phenomenal. That percentage is phenomenal because when you're looking at 1,000 people and we're sitting right under 9,000 subscribers, I think that's 10%, 11% growth in a calendar year. And that's huge. 11% growth is huge.
For our demographic, for sure.
So, that way we can start telling people, look, we're actually giving you a discount. We're not charging you extra this year, or we can charge extra for another year. Now, all of the contracts that I've sent out, that we already have, for next year are all the same contract amount. We did not raise the prices on people this year. But, in the future, things do get more expensive. Power gets more expensive. Trips get more expensive. All that kind of stuff gets more expensive. So eventually that's something that does change. But, the more that you guys comment, like, share, out these videos or the live streams or whatever, that gets us to the ability to where we can say, okay, we're actually going to go to the Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest and either do it on our dime or, hey, can you partially sponsor this or whatever it be,
right.
And make that happen. We'd love to be able to get to a point where we can go cover, TPE and PCA and Intertabac and all that stuff.
Intertabac, and then go to the one in Nicaragua.
Puro Sabor.
Love to go to the one in Cuba.
So, we
have 8.7 thousand subscribers.
So that's big. That's huge.
For not
Fireborn,
planning to do anything ever.
Fireborn says, I live near Denver, so the Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest is easy to get to. A friend of mine and I are going to Pro Cigar in the Dominican Republic in February. Excited for that. Nice.
So we can sleep on Fireborn's couch.
Yeah. So all that to say, it's been a great year. Again, I'm very surprised that we hit 1,000 subscribers this year. Not that it hasn't been done before, because it has been done before. It's been done more before. But after the big YouTube hit, we kind of felt that there was a possibility that it was almost going to be done. I mean, we lost a huge sponsor because of it. Almost 50% of our budget. We lost a huge sponsor because of that. And I understand it, because
Business is business.
They want to make sure that their money is going to make them money back. And if YouTube was going to shut us down and knock us completely off the platform, we didn't have a platform to go to anymore. So we're growing again. So now we can reach back out to people and say, look, hey, by the way, we're actually doing really well, numbers wise, percentage wise, in growth. How about maybe coming back on and
Yeah.
Hunter Ott says, can the guest for next year be the High Desert Man himself? Vic's an awesome. We love Vic. Vic's an awesome guy. I don't know. I have not sat down and created a list of people that there's a list of people in my head that I want to get. Just kind of that I've been thinking of and doing, the brain scratching part of to bring people on. Because I want to bring on some new people who have never been on. Some companies that have never been on, some people from companies that we've had on, but not had those people on. I'd love to do another Dumbarton Ladies takeover. I think that would be really fun to do that, once a year or whatnot, and having them on and, doing a show where the Dumbarton Ladies run it and, just have a really good time. And I kind of sit in the seat and just make sure everything stays kosher.
Maybe get some shops like Abe's shop or Haitia's shop or, stuff like that too.
It's just that gets really tricky because I can't promote well, they can say their shop name. I just can't direct people to their shops, which sucks.
We could do a Facebook exclusive.
Facebook's technically the same. It wouldn't hurt our YouTube audience if we did it just over on Facebook. It would hurt our Facebook audience. But there are ways around it. You have to find a way to pitch it to a company and say, look, we can't say your website name. We can't tell people to come to your shop, but we can do this, and it will bring people to your shop without me saying it, because we're not going to break the terms of service on YouTube.
Fireborn, the Deadwood Ladies are just models. They actually have nothing to do with Drew Estate other than they are paid to dress up and look like the Deadwood Ladies. Right. I don't even know if they know.
The closest thing to a Deadwood Lady that you could have would be Von Boyd. Michael Zakovic, we did Rumble for a little bit. There's actually videos over on Rumble. And
no traction.
There were a few cigar content creators who went over to Rumble. And Brian Glenn was he was the biggest one to jump over to Rumble. And he had over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, was making hundreds of thousands of views on his videos, millions of views on some of his videos, and then went over to Rumble. Last time I have not checked in a while, so my information is outdated. It may still be the truth. I'm not sure. But his videos were only pulling in like 2,000-3,000 views a piece, where that was, 10% to 1% of his viewer retention rate that he was getting on Rumble. And we were getting about the same percent. So we were getting 20 views a video, 30 views a video. I think one of our most watched video over there has maybe 300 views on it, but it's one video. The rest of them are, still double digits. Now Rumble has grown since then. So there's a chance that maybe doing some stuff over on Rumble as well would work, but I don't know about Rumble's terms of services in the sense of, can you link or promote the sale of regulated items? I'm not sure. I'm still waiting to hear back about my Deadwood model application.
Bubba, I'm going to be honest. The
I put in
cowboy
a
hat
good-
thing is good, but
I put in a good
just
word
don't-
for him for Fat Bottom Betty.
I just I just don't see him as a sugar skull kind of guy.
The Bourbon Blog, Tom Fisher. Cheers, Bob the Cigar Guy. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and enjoy the end of your 2024, Mr. Tom Fisher. It's been a good year. A lot of, again, the growth is big, but ultimately the thing is the camaraderie, the friendship, and the true thing is the friends you made along the way. And the best part's the friends you made along the way. So definitely happy with how the growth has happened this year, how it's gone, and hopefully it continues to track in that direction. And next year, we're having this same conversation 43 shows in, and we are on a 43 show streak of 20 plus. Again, we only missed 2 shows this year without 20.
Not too shabby.
Full Yoto or fully
What's up,
auto.
yo?
What's up, Bob? Sean Crowley, welcome in. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. No worry. Glad you're here. Glad you're hanging out with us. What are you drinking? What are you smoking? Bob Cigar Guy, are you done with your cigar over there?
I have smoked 3 cigars.
Oh wow. I'm still finishing up my Wise Man Maduro.
Is it good?
Here. It's very good. It's very great. I mean, I haven't had the cigar since April, May. So
Now you have another one tomorrow.
I might.
Another one Saturday.
I do. There is a possibility that I might want to come out here again tomorrow. My wife's not watching, so I've been hand making a lot of presents this year. It's nice to be able to. I won't show because my mom could be watching or she might watch it back, so I can't show that stuff. But my wife probably not watching. I've already gotten her a gift. One of the gifts that she wanted, the big one, and now I'm trying to think of maybe hand making her some stuff. But my wife is a reader; she loves to read, and I actually saw this really cool thing that it goes on your thumb. It's wood and it's shaped kind of almost like the Batman symbol, but it's round on the bottom and it rounds down, and you put your thumb in it and it holds the bottom of the pages open so that you don't have to crinkle your book. You don't have to put something on a page, or you don't have to hold your book with 2 hands. You can actually hold it down at the bottom with your thumb, and it actually splays the page open. So I thought about trying to find a way to make one of those here. Maybe, possibly.
You're talking about content and stuff earlier. This year, I didn't notice this till just now. Our lifetime views this year, we have eclipsed over 1 million views.
Oh,
1,083,837 views.
Congratulations!
Good job, brother.
Matt Brugger, have a great night and happy holidays to both you and your families. Happy holidays to all brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Matt Brugger, Merry Christmas, because we will not have a show next week. This is the last show of the year. Obviously, that's the title of the stream. But we will not have another show this year. So Merry Christmas to everybody who possibly leaves before we end the show tonight. Not saying we're ending it right now. We might. I don't know. But for those who do have to leave, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, hey, have a great vacation. And end out to the year. I'm hoping next week it's supposed to get really cold. And then we're supposed to get some precipitate coming down at the end of the week. I'm hoping that the cold stays and the precipitate moves up and we get some snow on Christmas. I think that'd be really cool. So again, if you do have to leave, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
Christmas,
don't celebrate.
Kwanzaa.
We're keeping y'all in the loop. Merry Christmas from the Semi-Flo himself, who was dressed up as a dark-skinned Santa Claus last week. He was.
Who was?
Semi-Flo.
All right.
They do it's like a kind of like a charity thing for the neighborhood. He and I were talking about it, and he dressed up as old Saint Nick.
All right.
Jolly Saint Nick. Looked real spiffy in his white beard. That's another thing. We almost lost the beard this year. Now that is a possibility. We may do another. How much money can we raise in order to get Chief to shave his beard off? But I have made the pact that I'm not shaving this beard off myself if I can get to the barber and cigar company. So we'll see if it happens next year or not. I don't know. I mean, it'll get trimmed between now and then. I'm not going to grow this thing down to my belly button, Dan Burns style. Which Dan Burns and Diana Burns have not been on this evening, to my knowledge. Also, I do want to give a shout out and a thank you to Supreme Tobacco, B.A. Castro, Semiflow, Bob Ellis, myself, Jamie Vaughn for hitting the love button on Facebook, and Tom Fisher, Matt Berger, George Pablo, Dana T. Fasano, Donald James, Rick Carroll, Charles Adamson, and Michael Zakovic for hitting the like button over on Facebook. I also, another big thing for me this year is I actually sold some of my photography this year, which was really, really neat. Adam Wolf, you missed the show, man. I don't think you were here for that show. Have you been gone that long? We were going to raise $1,500 to shave my beard off, and we got to $800. But we didn't hit $1,500. So I've sold some prints this year. If you follow me on Facebook or you're in the Discord or whatnot, you can go see my prints that are available over there. That's been really, really cool to see shots that I've taken around.
Even though I think some of the photos that you posted were actually ones I took with my phone. And you stole them and put your own little watermark on it. I'm not saying that happened, but it's possible.
Okay. I've seen your photos.
I have a very special style. It's called out of focus. And boring, and there's a desire for people like that. The School of the Blind actually has been asking me about doing a collaboration with them.
Abstract art. Now I
actually did some decent pictures.
Have you decided on when you're going to do your top 20 cigars of the year? Have you already worked on that video, or
no? I haven't worked on it. It will be a one and done. I will sit down with it and I will figure it out that day and I will shoot the video. I put it out January 2nd last year. And so
mine was only 18th.
I need to put mine out January 2nd again this year. The First Lady and Gracie and Macy and Caden, Gracie's two kids, are going to Disney on the 30th. They're going to be gone. I've got to do some huge home demo. But I plan to come out. I plan to just not sleep, live off caffeine, cigars, and rogue patches, and get a lot of that stuff done, and squirrel hunt and shoot lots of videos because I need to get some content out. I have not done the video this year or this month for Villiger, and I got another Christmas video I want to do. What cigars you should take to a Christmas get together, because the one for Thanksgiving blew up. That was like 3,000 views on that video. So,
oh
wow, people like it. I must keep doing it.
Gotta abuse the algorithm, baby. Mm-hmm. Gotta make sure you hit what they want. It's not 3,000.
God, dog, it's late already.
1.3K. I was like 3,000. There's no way.
It's only 1.3.
1.3.
That's still 1.3.
That's great.
That ain't shabby.
I mean, we're hitting something right now. I mean, you're getting over. Some of your videos, I mean, are doing better than others. So,
but they're all better.
Yeah, better than this time last year, and better. It's definitely better than this time 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
So we'll right here at 9:40, we'll end out the show. Now there will be another live stream sometime around Christmas, either Christmas Eve or
Christmas Eve.
Whatever.
It's supposed to be
when my mom, the First Lady, does the annual reading of the Christian Christmas story from Scripture. So if you're interested in that, I want to listen to it, by all means, come in. And if you don't, well, that's just a heads up. That's what it's going to be. If you don't want to come and hang out, you don't have to. But that's something that we've done for the past few years. It's something my mom likes to do. My dad wants to continue the tradition going. So we will have that up where she reads the the Christmas story, and we'll see. We're gonna do the very first Thursday of the year is January 2nd, and I don't think I'll take that stream off. I don't think I'll do 2 weeks in a row. And we should come back and do the stream that day. So we'll see you guys in the new year. Thank you all for hanging out with us this year again. Come over here, and actually, before I do that, come back over here. Bob the Cigar Guy, would you like to say anything before you're off the stream?
It's been a blessing for you to be part of our family this year. It is my hope and prayer, and I'll be praying for everybody that is here on the channel, on the show, that you will have an amazing Christmas with your family and New Year's, and that this year will be even better than last year.
Congratulations, Michael Zakovic. Sorry to interrupt you. He had his baby. His grandbaby.
Cool. 2025 is going to be year of the Chief, but it's also going to be year of the you. This is going to be your year, and I truly believe that. I hope that you stay with us another year, and I hope that you give us the opportunity to be a part of your life. That is for sure. And I love you, and I thank you. And by the way, podcasts will be up. First Lady will be up every once a month. Chief will be doing crazy things on Chief Talk. It is going to be the year to be tuned in. That's for sure. Merry Christmas. I love you. I really do.
So before we do close out the evening, do want to give a big shout out to the two companies who have come alongside Chief Talk, explicitly Chief Talk, to partner and make sure that we can bring you guys this content every week. Again, while it doesn't cost anything other than some power and a little bit of butane and maybe a couple dollars worth of sodas out of the fridge every Thursday night, and internet access, ultimately to be able to have the stuff to be able to do this. Like I run it off of a computer. We both run off of webcams. He's got a computer, and we've got all sorts of cords, microphones, all these things that cost. And, going forward, we want to be able to bring a production that's even better, than this one. And, if you're not growing and you're staying still, then you're regressing. And we want to continue to grow this thing and make this, a slap up job production for Chief Talk and any streams possibly going forward to the future. So, Drew Estate Cigar and Quality Importers making the financial contributions to make sure that we have the things to be able to make this show happen 43 times in 2024. Could not be thanked enough. And again, if you want to support us and support Quality Importers, you can go check out our merch on the website. It's the only link in the description every single Thursday night. And at the top, it's got a merch tab. If you want to buy an ornament, they're also available over there. It probably won't get to you in time for Christmas, but if you are like me and leave your Christmas tree up 3 weeks into January, you'll have a few weeks to have it on your tree. And then Drew Estate Cigars, if you have the opportunity to go to a humidor or go online and find some, check out Drew Estate, show them a little bit of monetary love, because they are huge to support us, especially here on Chief Talk, but also all of our PCA content is because of Drew Estate. And then, other stuff that we do throughout the year here on the channel as well is because of Drew Estate. So we hope to bring on more companies next year for Chief Talk, where we have one that is coming to the channel, but for Chief Talk, I'd love to get some more names over on that side and have some more people to come on the show. That is the goal for next year, is to have many more streams that are interview streams, and also kind of taking a page, adapting a page that we already have and taking some hints from Cigar Dojo with how they do some of their brackets and stuff, with bringing on industry professionals to jump on with their brackets. And so like this year we've done the brackets and we've been wildly successful with those, in doing that, next year and having more people on. So we thank you all for hanging out with us. Again, we love you. We'll see you in the new year. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah if you celebrate. If you don't, have a great day off, or couple days off, or maybe a long weekend, whatever it be. And we'll see you in the new year. Bye-bye.
Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go.